Yo, welcome back to Inner Circle. Today I'm bringing you BBL Wi-Fi Season 7, Week 6, taking on Q the Costa Rican and his Chicago Dragapults. My team has not changed, and I really don't anticipate any changes. This is the last week to make changes to the team uh, going into Week 7. So I don't think we'll be making any changes, but regardless, my team consists of Kieran White, Landers I Tracheon Spectrier, Slowking, Weezing G, Bronzong, the Serena, Persian A, Rotom Fan, Audino, and Lileep, rocking one of the only Little Cup Mons in the league. Then we have Q's team with Magearna, Giratina O, Zeraora, Suicune, Tapu Bulu, Scolipede, Moltres, Rhyperior, Hitmontop, Tauros, Guzzlord, and Morgrem. So this is going to be a battle of the ogres, truly. Magearna and Giratina O have a great matchup against me, and Kiram White and Landers I have a great matchup against Q. So this is going to be a good one. And I did already play this one, so without spoiling too much, you'll want to stay till the end, as this one does come down to the wire. So with that, I hope you enjoy, and let's just get right into it. All right, folks, welcome to the battle. So, Guzzlord was not one that I expected. That's for sure. I expected the top four, and I expected Tauros, and then it was either Hitmontop or Morgrem that I thought as the last one, not Guzzlord. So we'll see how that goes. Guzzlord. Okay. Looking at the matchup, obviously Zeraora outspeeds everything. But Persian and Spectrier outspeed the rest. My switch-ins to Magearna aren't good. So I think we consider leading something that takes on Magearna. If it's a Magnet Rise set, more power to him. Obviously, my switch-ins to this are not good either. And Bronzong is not the one. Could hard out predicting my Persian, but I think I just have to go Persian. Just taking some notes over here. Okay, so he doesn't switch. I think we see... Well, obviously we want to get a Toxic on it, and then we see what kind of damage Foul Play does. I don't think that kills, but no. We just take this damage on this thing. It could be a rest set, of course. We were pretty SPDEF invested. Okay, foul play did about half, so that's pretty cool. From here, does freeze dry kill? White, freeze dry, +1. Freeze dry does like 50. You can also just go spec and try to sub up and see if he tries to save it. I think that's. I think we're just gonna go do freeze dry. He doesn't know what we are, so. Sneak. So he'll get a little bit of damage off. We're not going to show an item. We are going to kill Giratina, so that's good stuff. We've only lost Persian, which was here for Giratina, so I'm totally okay with that trade. Persian did what it was supposed to do. This could bulk up. It could just straight up Plasma Fist. Could just straight up play rough. Okay. I think we need to go Wheezing. So we show that we're not Scarf. We lose lefties, but it's not too big a deal. And then I think we just Strange Steam. We hit something. We hope for a confusion on Magearna. Suicune it'll bounce off of, but we hope for some status on that too. Nope. And we know it's lefties now. Hopefully it doesn't sub. Fuck, it does. Alright, because I think Pain Split fails. Yeah, that sucks. We're gonna harden to cure him. We could Coal Mine, of course, because that's what Suicune does. Freeze Dry still does a butt ton. Still does a butt ton. I didn't expect to outspeed max speed Suicune, so we'll get to learn something here, at least. We are faster. Oh, mine. So even at +2, we 2-hit KO from where it's at. Unless it's like super Speed F invested. The lefties might save it from a 2-hit KO, maybe. It would be a roll. It's like a really good chance in my favor to 2-hit KO, unless it's Speed F invested. But I feel like it would be defense invested, so it could take 2 hits from Terrakion. Oh, it does have some Speed F. Okay. We know it's lefties, so it's not Chesto. Our options are pretty limited, but we will be able to Rock Slide it at some point. So it does have some Spadef. Now it's at +3. If we could crit, that'd be great, obviously. That did about 25. It's like max Spadef. Yikers, dude. So it's... Is it rest? Calm Mind sub? Rest? Something? No, it's not rest? I was gonna say, I don't think that kills. But we will kill Suicune here. We lost a lot of health on Kyurem, but we do have Roost. Kyurem's is so fucking strong. Can you believe it does that much through +3 Suicune? That's nuts. So Magearna should come out now. You can still sub up on, or not sub, roost up on like Tauros. We might even get rid of this to get, okay. Okay. Actually, Tauros outspeeds us and probably kills us. I mean, obviously this thing still puts in a ton of work. could click Rock Slide. It could click Close Combat. It could click Body Slam. I don't think it clicks Throw Chop. So, yeah. So we get Spec in now. Spec's kind of a demon. Not gonna lie. Even though they got 2 Ghost Resists, Spec is a demon. Here's the Throw Chop. It does do 25%, which is more than I expected it to do, to be honest. So with the Tauros burned, we can pretty safely, if we can get it in, we can pretty safely roost up. Curse, eh? Interesting. If this is fully physical and doesn't have Ice Beam to hit Landorus, I think that's a bad bring. I feel like Ice Beam needed to come for Landorus. Gonna try to hit me for sure, right? We're a thick boy. Thank you for the health. Much appreciated. Probably should have just attacked it, but this is still good for Guzzlord because it's faster than Guzzlord. Dun, 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 dun. And it can get all of its health back on Guzzlord. So I think Gyro probably kills this. Zero Aura and Magearna are still terrifying, so we're not out of the woods yet. There it is. What a demon. What a demon. There's not a lot of shit that I want to sack. I'm gonna sack Spec. I think Spec is the least useful at this point. And then we'll get in Wheezing. And we'll get some health. Oh, it's faster. No way. What kind of set is that? Oh, that's big problems. That's big problems. Okay, I see you. Okay. I see you. It was invested for Wheezing, I guess. This could very well be AV, too. I guess we're gonna find out. Damn, shouldn't have sacked Spec then. Not AV. Turns out. We lost 2 Mons to Guzzlord. That's shitty. We've run out of things to just throw at Zeraora. Fortunately, I think Landorus can clean up. I think Landorus can clean up. So we are going to just give up Hirun. Hopefully we can take a hit from Zera with Landorus. We're going to find out, obviously. And if the Magearna's on a balloon, that's pretty shitty. Knock. So that's going to get rid of my life orb. But this should still kill. If this thing's on a balloon, that's shitty for us. But if it's not on a balloon, I think we're okay. It is on a balloon. So obviously we have to pop the balloon. It should shift gear, I would think. Should set up. So we do pop the balloon. That did a lot. Oh, there's a crit. I was like, damn, son. I was kind of hoping that was, I was kind of hoping we were going to leave that. Kind of hoping we were going to leave that. Magearna is so fucking strong. We probably lose here. It had to have brought coverage for this, right? It gets Shadow Ball or something. Yeah. And at +1, yeah, we're gonna lose. Damn. That sucks. It's a 1-0 loss. Damn. Threw so much shit away to that goddamn Guzzlord. Yes, Balloon was great, Sven. I don't know if the balloon mattered, though, to be honest. Because I don't know if we killed from there. I mean, from full, without our life orb. Yeah, there's like no way that we killed without our life orb. I guess there's a chance, depending on the set, but... True, if it was an Earth Power crit, then maybe. Anyways, let's look at the team. I suppose I should have speed invested Wheezing G a little bit. I should have done that. He asked what my Magearna was, so I'm gonna show it to him. And we're gonna switch scenes. That you guys can see everything better. Just sending our pace each other's way. Alright, so let's take a look. And I think my, if I'm not mistaken, I'm at 98 followers now. Is that what my thing says? No, it says 96. Alright, guys. I think we're gonna just hit this a couple times. Bam, look at that. Now it's at 98. Alright, and now I need to refresh this. A little, bam, a little refresh action. There it is. Wow. Wow, guys, look at that. Now it says 99. Hey, Q with the follow. Hey, Thank you, sir. We're at 99 followers now. 99. So close to that 100 mark. All right, let's take a look at the team breakdown. Built the team yesterday. Q, I think both of us our Ubers are just like oppressive against the other one. I knew this was gonna be like down to the wire. Whose Ubers could beat whose Ubers? Both of our Ubers had really good matchups. Both Giratina O and Magearna looked good against me. Both Kiram and Lando looked good against you. Yeah, it was all gonna come down to whose Ubers outlasted the others. So first up was Bronzong. Bronzong was a leftovers set this week. I actually led Bronzong for like rocks purposes, or if Magearna was the lead, I have no switch-ins to it except for this. So that was the reasoning. So Bronzong was, like I just said, sort of a Magearna check, but Shadow Ball kind of just blows me away regardless. Again, I have no Magearna checks. So we had to be Spadef invested to try to take on Magearna to some extent, but I think you were an offensive Magearna, which I really didn't do many calcs against. Because that Shadow Ball did a literal ton. I think it did like 65 or something like that. So yeah, we're 244 HP, 116 Spadef with a sassy nature. We had that leftovers for passive recovery. There was probably a calc that this was for. But I don't remember what it was exactly. And then 76 defense and 68 attack. I believe the attack was to ensure that I broke a sub on something, and I'm trying to remember what it was. And I can't remember it off the top of my head. But so Bronzong was here for not only Magearna, but also it's a good Bulu check. So was Weezing. This kind of checks Rhyperior too. We don't deal much damage to Rhyperior, but Rhyperior doesn't deal much to us. It's not really a Hitmontop check because I didn't bring Zen. I was considering bringing Zen, but I didn't. And this also could check Tauros for the most part. And Weezing could do that as well. I predicted all of the brings except for I thought the Guzzlord was going to be Morgrim. So yeah, that Guzzlord put in good work because I didn't really prep anything for it. And I kind of just threw stuff away to it. Had I just thought for a second that the Guzzlord was going to speed creep Weezing, I probably would have played that out a little bit differently. But in all honesty, I still think that was my best play. If Guzzlord was AV and Kiram didn't kill it and just like dies to a Draco, then that puts us in a pretty tough spot without having a Kiram anymore. So yeah, anyway, Bronzong moveset was Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic Gyro. The Earthquake, obviously for Magearna. Gyro, it was a toss-up between Gyro, Zen, and Heavy Slam. We ended up going Gyro because it did more to Scolipede after a speed boost, even than like a Zen did. I think it was actually pretty close calc, but it just did a ton. And I wanted to be able to hit the Bulu super effectively if Bulu came, although Bulu had a really bad matchup, so I really wasn't expecting it to come. So yeah, that was Bronzong. Next up was Kiram, and we're already on the move, so we might as well start with that. So we were, and I'll preface it with the item. We were Never Melt Ice this week. Uh, we were trying to like fake that we were Specs or like Modest Scarf and getting low rolls or something like that. Um, but it would fake as Specs, and then we'd have the ability to change moves. Like if I ever clicked Ice Beam, it like kind of looks like Specs damage, and like a timid Specs type dealio, and it would allow me to get hits off on Suicune if Suicune then came in. Obviously, this still beat Suicune through Coal Mines, which was nuts. Uh, this thing's a menace. And if we ever had a chance to roost up, we would have, obviously. But we really couldn't afford clicking it ever. So that's what we ended up going with. Just spamming Freeze Dry and Ice Beam, which obviously Kyurem can do fairly well because it's a goddamn monster. Nothing special about the EVs. I guess I should mention Fusion Flare with the Nevermelt Ice still 2-hit KOs Magearna, even if it's max Spadef, max HP. So I didn't need a boosting move on Fusion Flare, and that was basically all it was for, was Magearna. So that was Kyurem. Kyurem's moves. So like I said, nothing special about the EVs. 52 HP, 252 Spatak Modest, 4 in each of the defenses, sort of dumping those EVs, and then 196 speed, which was enough speed for, if I recall correctly, Bulu? Jolly Bulu? Tapu Bulu. I think it was Jolly Bulu. Yes, Jolly Bulu. I felt that I did not need to outspeed Giratina. I felt that a bulkier set was better on Giratina, so I didn't think there was going to be a need to outspeed max speed Giratina. I also wasn't worried about max speed Suicune. And those were the two things between Kyurem's speed and Bulu. So that allowed us to run Modest and do mad damage. So that was the reasoning there for that EV spread. And then obviously I said we were Never Melt Ice already. So let's move on to, should be Lando? Yes. So Lando has an incredible matchup in this one. Basically, like I said in the battle, if Magearna wasn't floating on a balloon, we were in a good spot. But in the end, I don't think it mattered. I ran some calcs post battle, which you guys should have heard me talking about with Sven. But I think that Magearna still lives in Earth Power, unless I get a crit like that Rock Slide did. I think Magearna still lives in Earth Power, still kills us with Flash Cannon, and still outspeeds Bronzong and kills it with Shadow Ball. So I don't think at that point that it mattered. But you never know. If I had gotten a crit, because without a life orb, we definitely don't kill that Magearna. You never know. Maybe I could have gotten a crit. But yeah, the Lando was life orb per usual, except for that 1 week that I ran Scarf. Sheer Force, of course. And then Earth Power, Rock Slide, Sludge Wave, Toxic. We did have Grass Knot on here instead of Sludge Wave at one point. But I did pack Sludge Wave in case Bulu came. And I really didn't think Rhyperior was coming. I didn't think Bulu was either, so it was kind of a toss-up between the two. Grass Knot also looked better on Suicune, so maybe I should have brought it, but then I would have been taking Life Orb Chip because it's just Grass Knot. and not a sheer force boosted move. So the last move here, I guess I should mention Rock Slide was pretty much exclusively for Moltres, and turned out that we could break a balloon with it. So, but yeah, Toxic was for Giratina. I thought Giratina was like the best switch into this. Um, don't really have anything to hit it hard at all. The best thing I could hit it with is probably Rock Slide or Knockoff, and Knockoff doesn't remove its item because it's Giratina O, so it's only that 60 power. Um, so yeah, and I would have taken Life Orb Chip with Knockoff. Like, there's not much to hit Giratina. So if I was going to predict a Giratina coming in, I was going to click Toxic. So that was why we had Toxic as our fourth. And yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up with Lando. I can go over the EVs real quick. 76 attack, 252 Spatak. We were minus Spadef Nature, which maybe made a difference on that flash cannon. I don't know. So we were naive. 172 speed, 4 in defense, and 4 in HP. So yeah, that might have made a difference on the flash cannon, but Magearna is so strong that it probably didn't. It might depend on the set. I don't know. If we were minus defense, maybe we lived that. I guess we'll never know. Actually, you know, I guess we could know. Hugh did send me his sets. It was modest max attack, so probably didn't matter. I guess, you know, we're gonna find out. Do it live, you know. A not minus. Oh, it would have been close. I don't remember exactly what we were at, but it does a max of 255. 255? Hello? What am I saying? Where did I read that from? 65% does a max of 65. So yeah, if I wasn't minus FDF, it would have been close. Anyway, that's Landorus. Let's move on to Persian, and Persian's only job was to do anything to Giratina. So I'm glad that it was not a rest set, because Lucas beat me down with that last week on his regular Giratina. Yeah, Persian was here just to do anything to Giratina. Giratina is a monster, and without Persian, I just basically give it a kill every time it comes in. So I basically had to bring this. I really thought that there were better options. Like, I thought if I could bring Terrakion this week and just put up a ton of offensive pressure, I think that may have been a really good option. But Persian had to be here to literally stop Giratina from doing whatever it wanted. And that's why we had Toxic. And then Foul Play, even with a minus attack nature, still does a ton to Giratina. Because Giratina's attack stat is still really high. Toxic, Parting Shot, Knockout, Foul Play. I didn't think we could afford a Parting Shot there. Just because at +1 Spadef, that thing is still a demon, because my team's pretty Spadef heavy this week. Or I mean, Spatak heavy this week. And really, this was the only thing that could hit the Giratina on the physical side. Other than Rock Slide, I think. That might have been the only other thing I brought that was physical. Oh, I guess Bronzong was, but that was doing nothing. So the Persian really did its job. It took it down to a range where Hiram could just click whatever it wanted. Other than Fusion Flare, probably would have lived a Fusion Flare. But yeah, Persian's spread was super heavy Spadef invested because we could handle a physical Giratina, no problem, with Persian just because of Fur Coat. So we were super heavy SPDEF invested. The Aura Sphere was close, but I believe we had calcs for that. So Persian was 244 HP, 196 SPDEF, with a Jolly Nature, 60 speed, 4 attack, and 4 defense. So it ended up being more cost efficient to run 60 speed Jolly instead of a plus SPDEF Nature, because we needed that speed to outspeed something. What was it? What was it? Tauros, maybe? I don't remember. That's no way that's Tauros. I don't remember what the speed was for. It was for something, for sure. 100%. And then it was probably Giratina. I mean, yeah, it was probably Giratina. But yeah, this was exclusively for Giratina, like I said. And we ran the lefties on it. So that was Persian. Next up is Spectrier. Spectrier had a good matchup other than the bottom three mons on Q's team, Tauros, Guzzlord, and Morgrem. And I thought that if I could position this so that it was able to get behind a sub, which I'll just show you the set so you can see it. But if I could get it behind a sub before one of those things came in, I would be able to position it where it could just willow sub and just like stall. We were lefties. And if we ever got the opportunity to, obviously we would nasty plot. Really, a lot of spec sets look good, but this was the only one that didn't just get abused by the bottom three mons on Q's team. Again, Tauros, Guzzlord, and Morgrem. So the Hex Willow sub nasty plot allowed us to at least do something against those mons. Tauros, not as much, obviously, but after, a Willow, a sub, a nasty plot, we were still doing decent damage with Hex to Guzzlord and Morgrem. So yeah, once those things are gone, though, there's no resists left on the team, and Spec could go to town. So we were able to afford to be modest. 244 speed, 252 attack, and 12 HP. With that nice 130 speed stat rounding out the top of my team, didn't need to be timid to outspeed Scolipede. So yeah, we were able to be modest. And like I said, we were lefties. So that was Spec. And then last but not least, Wheezing G. So Wheezing G, we ended up we did throw 4 speed into Wheezing G. But obviously that was not enough for the Guzzlord. How much speed was that on Guzzlord? Okay, so it got up to 84, so we would have needed to invest quite a bit to outspeed, which we couldn't really afford to do, to be honest. We ran lefties, which got knocked off, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it was Wheezing that I got knocked off of. So we were... I wonder how much that Heavy Slam did. Okay, it did about half. So if we had been able to get back up to full, Heavy Slam wouldn't have killed. His Pain Split would have done so much damage had I been able to get it off. But obviously, Q crept the Wheezing very effectively. Let's just go to the moves before we do the EVs. We were Flamethrower, Pain Split, Strange Steam, Haze. Haze was kind of a, like, oh shit button in case Giratina or Magearna started to set up. We needed something to stop that. So the Haze was, again, like an oh shit button. I believe that Magearna would have obviously been a problem because we were slower then. But yeah, that That was our get out of jail free card. I mean, we clicked it against Tauros, even though we probably should have just attacked Tauros, but it's whatever. Flamethrower predicting the Magearna to come in. Pain Split, which you saw, and then Strange Steam, which you saw as well. So I think the only thing you didn't see was Flamethrower. Flamethrower also good for Scolipede since we kind of walled Scolipede, and by kinda I mean we definitely did wall Scolipede. So yeah, I think Poison Jab from Scolipede still did like an okay amount, but not nearly the kind of damage that would have been necessary to beat this Weezing. Yeah. So yeah, that was the moveset. EV spread, 244 HP, 132 defense with a bold nature, 124 attack, 4 spadef, 4 speed. The 4 speed was a dump, so it really wasn't anything. But if he was just creeping by 1 point, which you don't do typically, then we would have at least speed died. So that's Weezing, and then oh, that's the end. That is the end. That's right. I always put my team in alphabetical order, so when I should know that when I get to Weezing at the end of the alphabet, it's the end, you know? But anyways, that's going to do it, folks. So now we are 3-3. We started off so strong in BBL with a 2-0 start, but all of our losses have been close. All of our wins have been pretty close too, except for week 1. I think we had one bad week against the Titans, but other than that, I believe we're 3-3 +1 now. So as long as we can pick up one more win and stay with a positive diff, I think we might be okay. I think 4-4 with a positive diff might be enough to sneak in, because I believe half of the coaches make it in the playoffs, and then let me take a look-sees. Yeah, 16 coaches, half of them make it in the playoffs, it looks like. And I think just having an even record should be able to get you in. So we will see. Obviously, we wanted a win there, but shit happens, right? So, like I said, that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for joining the Inner Circle, and we'll catch you all next time.